Those Knicks overcame an off-shooting night from Jalen Brunson to take down the Lakers 112-100 for their sixth straight win. LeBron James, who has historically dominated at the Garden, finished with 22 points in what could have been maybe his final game in New York. Here's LeBron on what playing at MSG has meant to him over the years.
Playing at Madison Square Garden meant to you throughout your career?
Everything. I mean, it's the mecca of basketball here in New York City. Obviously, it's the Big Apple. You know, being here at MSG, playing here. You know, it's so many guys have walked this court. You know, either from basketball to entertainment to actors and musicians. I mean, everything.
Just 1 year ago, after midnight Eastern, I was on the SportsCenter desk on February 2nd.
Oh, yeah.
The Mavericks traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers. Since the trade, Doncic has averaged 31.4 points per game in the regular season with the Lakers, which is the second most in the NBA, behind only the reigning MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and his 8.3 assists per game are also the seventh most. So now we reflect 1 year after the Luka trade. S.A., where do you think the Lakers are now?
They're not in a good position because they're average. They're not awful and they're not great. They have a great one in him. LeBron is still great. Austin Reeves has elevated his level of play, but durability has been an issue because he's been injured. And if you remember, at the height of Luka Doncic's success as a Dallas Maverick, he had Jalen Brunson as a sidekick. Then he had Kyrie Irving. And now he wishes he had Austin Reeves because if they're on the court together, they can make big things happen. In the 80 games that he's been a Los Angeles Laker, 51 of them have been with LeBron James. They're 32-19 when they play together. Obviously, they've won 60% of their games when he's on the court, but that doesn't make you better than OKC, Denver, one would argue Houston, Minnesota, and San Antonio. And so you're basically looking at a Los Angeles Lakers team that's good enough for the play-in, potentially good enough for a first-round playoff berth, but going home thereafter. And that's not what you want to hear when it comes to purple and gold. So that's the situation right now. They could trade a first and a second-round pick. Their mid-tier players ain't drawing much interest. We know this. You need your secondary option on the floor, and Austin Reeves, obviously. You don't want to have to depend on the 41-year-old LeBron James to do it for you. He's already doing more than he should have to do, but you don't want to have to depend on that. So all of those things come into play. And then watching against the Knicks, I think it was emblematic of what we've been complaining about with the Los Angeles Lakers. First of all, against the New York Knicks, you shot 12 for 42 from three-point range. I mean, and I'm talking about open threes. And that's how we know it's not coaching. Because we see the Los Angeles Lakers getting open shots. They just don't make them. 12 of 42 from three-point range, and that's normal. And let's not get started with them defensively. Defensive efficiency, 25th. Field goal percentage defense, 27th. Field goal percentage three-point shooting, 26th. Blocks per game, 29th. Contested shots per game, 29th. How the hell are you ranking bottom three and bottom two in contested shots? That means you're nowhere in the vicinity when people are getting shots. How the hell does that happen? It's a lack of effort, and in some cases a lack of talent. So they're middle of the road, which is a disastrous position for them to be in. And I think that's what the issue is right now. You don't want to be middle of the road. You want to be great, or you want to suck. And the Lakers are neither. They're in the middle, and I think that's the problem.
So the one thing about where they are middle of the road, and as you reflect on the trade from last year, if you will, is that trade got them a guy for the future. So I agree with you, S.A. They're middle of the road. There's a bunch of metrics that say their defense is terrible. Yes, they've been pretty good in the clutch time, but they've also been blown out by 20 at like 7 different times. So I get you. But the one thing they do have is a guy that you can be confident about moving forward. So if I had to assess the trade, they still have won the trade moving forward because Luka Doncic is, to me, still in his prime and has more prime to go.
Eminem, before Wendy chimes in, it's not assessing the trade. It's assessing the Lakers 1 year after the trade.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got it.
It's two different things. It's like the trade. Clearly, they won the trade. Anthony Davis ain't even available. Clearly, they won the trade. It's a great thing. It's just that the Lakers looking at him is like,
Right, yeah, because it's like contender or not. The answer is not. So now we zoom out, and at least they got a guy moving forward.
The reality is that the Lakers' Luka Doncic era will start next year. Okay, because they really haven't taken the steps necessary or that they're able to to put the proper pieces around him. This is not a mystery. We saw exactly what the Dallas Mavericks did that created a finals team. They put perimeter defenders around to protect Luka for defense, and they went all out to get big men who could roll to the basket off Luka's of screens and then also defend the rim. They got slapped with a tanking fine because they wanted to make sure that they got a first-round pick that they used on Derek Lively, who was a perfect role big man for him. And then they went out and made aggressive trades at the deadline that finals year to get Daniel Gafford. The Lakers have not done that. They did it briefly when they went out and got Mark Williams, and then they rescinded the trade last year. I mean, if you look at Mark Williams and DeAndre Ayton, Mark Williams has 20 more dunks this year than DeAndre Ayton does. I mean, he's a better role man. So the Lakers are going to have to invest in that lineup around Luka. They haven't invested in the perimeter defenders, and that's because they are paying LeBron James $50 million this year. They're going to have to reallocate their team, and they're in position to do so because this summer they're going to have potentially $100 million in salary cap space, and they're going to go from one first-round pick that they can trade to 3. And so then they can re-enter the market with that space, which they can use a number of different ways. And next year, the team that you see deployed on the court with Luka, I think will have a big man who fits that criteria and guys alongside him that will defend. I believe that will include Austin Reeves, not as a defender, but as a shared ball handler. And it could include LeBron James. It's just not going to include him at $50 million if they're going to build around him. So the fact that he extended his contract at age 26 and he's invested in the Lakers long term, that gives them the runway to just do what they can this year and then truly pivot this summer.
Okay. Lakers right now 5-5 in their last 10 games, which I guess would be the definition right now of middle of the road, quite literally over the last month or so. Let's go to the team that was on the other side of that trade as we talk about the Lakers. That would be the Mavs. They lost their 30th game of the season on Saturday when they fell to the Rockets 111-107. Some don't like how head coach Jason Kidd is using rookie Cooper Flagg, despite Flagg scoring a team-high 32 points and having 12 assists. Post-game yesterday, Jason Kidd took exception with the criticism. Watch.
Coach, you got a lot of national criticism for playing Flagg at point guard. But over the last 2 games,
I don't give a about the criticism. The criticism, that's your opinion. You guys write that. That's not that. I've done this. I've played this game. I played it at a very high level, and I know what I'm doing. But I don't give what you guys write, because you guys have never played the game. And so I've built players, so I know what I'm doing.
Sometimes the quiet beeps sting the most. Essay, your reaction to Jason Kidd?
Well, I didn't like the "you haven't played the game" comment because I think that Jason Kidd sometimes can articulate himself more extensively than he chooses to. The brother's a brilliant basketball mind. He's one of the most brilliant point guards to have ever played this game. And by the way, the premise of his argument and stuff like that, I totally agree with him. Because the Jason Kidd that I know, and I've known him for a very long time, the Jason Kidd that I know, when he makes comments like that and he aims it towards the media, it's media members that are not listening to basketball experts. They're making their own assertions and they're coming forward with their own opinions based on what they think they know, as opposed to deferring to those who actually do know it. You see, one of the reasons that I'm incredibly confident in what I have to say about sports, but especially basketball, is because I'm not trying to come to you like I know. I'm coming to you based on what I know, based on what they've told me and what they've taught me, because I'm reporting on it because I know my damn place. I don't give a damn how much I know about basketball. I don't know more than the people who played it. I don't know more than the people who are coaching it. I don't know what they know. And so when you come at them in a fashion that indicates that you know stuff that they don't know about the game, it's very, very insulting to them. And that's what you heard Jason Kidd say. But the flip side to it is that, what about those that get their information from experts like him and others that do know? Like, for example, I can tell you right now, and you maybe I'm putting myself a bit out there or whatever, but Jason Kidd would not say that about me, because he knows that if I said something about him, it's because I'm asking him. and I'm deferring to something that he said and he's done, or what another expert has said, as opposed to thinking that I know more than him. But if you encounter a pundit, a commentator, a reporter, a columnist that thinks that they know what you know and they never played, it is offensive to them. And that's what you're seeing, and that's what you're getting. Cooper Flagg is playing the point guard position, and Cooper Flagg is ascending, in case no one has noticed. Dallas they're not going anywhere this year. There's no Anthony Davis who's only played 20 games. There's no Kyrie Irving who hasn't played a game at all this year because of his knee injury. They know they're not going anywhere, so their primary objective is to elevate and help the ascension and the growth of Cooper Flagg, the #1 overall pick, who is a package. This brother is special and getting more and more special every day. His head coach is one of the greatest point guards in the history of the game. So for somebody to question his use of Cooper Flagg at the point guard position, I think we all can understand how incredibly insulting that could be to somebody with the stature, the credentials, and the acumen on of the game of basketball as a Jason Kidd. That's what you got. That's what you were seeing. I just wish he had been more elaborative, like you need to ask us, those of us who know, instead of stop acting like, I'm not accusing a reporter of doing anything. I'm just saying that's how Jason Kidd came across, as somebody who was communicating with someone else who hadn't played and hadn't gotten his counsel or whatever from experts and was acting like he was an expert himself. That's how it came across to me, but I don't know because I was not there.
Wendy, what was your reaction?
Well, let's just be honest. The reason we're playing that is because Jason Kidd was cursing and it's just good video. Because I'm going to tell you something, there isn't that much criticism of Cooper Flagg playing point guard. Generally, the national media is in awe of how good he is. He had a game a couple of days ago where he scored 49 points and they lost in an incredible battle with Charlotte and Con Knippel. We weren't like, oh my gosh, if they had had a point guard, they might have won. We were like, oh my God, look at this 19-year-old and how he plays. I don't care, quite frankly, about where he's playing a point guard. I'm just watching how he's developing by the week and looks better and better. And I'm like, this guy's future is so bright, they need sunglasses. I will say this, the Mavericks have a bottom 5 offense. They're a bad offensive team, and largely because their point guard position is weak. The guy that they have filling in for Kyrie Irving, D'Angelo Russell, who they signed to a contract with a player option, has been benched, and they are now trying to get off of that contract. Their maneuver there has failed. They are using Cooper because the rest of their point guard situation is not good, okay? But as far as I'm concerned, Cooper can continue to play good, and the Mavs can lose every game the rest of the season. I would tell Kyrie Irving, work on that knee, work on strengthening it. We will see you in the fall, sir, and you will be our point guard, and you can work along with Cooper, and we will draft the best, highest pick we can get. I'm not worried at all. I'm not stressed at all about Dallas and their point guard situation.
I'm with you, Wendy. This is much ado about nothing. One, I think Jason Kidd has a decent relationship with the media in Dallas, the times that I've been there, at least to cover him.
Yes.
He absolutely is a Hall of Fame point guard. He knows some stuff that the rest of us don't know. That's a fact. But I will say this, and the other piece of that sound, like toward the end of it, he says something to the effect of, y'all are going to criticize me no matter what I do. Something to that effect. So I just think this was one of those moments where it's like, yo, you have your opinion. I am working with the kid daily. I'm only a Hall of Fame point guard. I've only been a 10-time All-Star and played 19 years in the league, right? I've only won 2 Olympic gold medals. So I think he said it straight to camera. We got some colorful language in there, but I really think this is much about nothing. I mean, locker rooms have heated exchanges all the time. So do media spaces.